What if everything you have been taught about the history of humanity was merely a shadow on the wall of a cave, while the true fire burned unseen behind you? What if the blueprints for modern theoretical physics, for advanced metallurgy, for the very architecture of genetic engineering were written down thousands of years before the first laboratory was constructed by human hands? We are decoding the forbidden technological secrets of the Watchers hidden within the ancient Book of Enoch. And what we find is not myth or legend or the fearful superstition of primitive people looking at the stars. We find precise metallurgical and celestial calculations that suggest a suppressed superior lineage of knowledge that predates the flood and challenges the very foundation of our understanding of progress. These are not stories meant to soothe the soul. They are manuals meant to build reality. They are instructions for interacting with the fabric of the universe in ways that modern science is only just beginning to whisper about in classified rooms and private journals. Ancient texts describe advanced celestial mechanics that should not have existed in the antediluvian world, according to the standard timeline of archaeology. By cross-referencing lost Enochian manuscripts with the physics of the current era, we have uncovered a shocking technological lineage that predates the Great Flood. This hidden architecture of reality reveals that our ancestors possessed secrets we are only now beginning to rediscover through the lens of quantum mechanics and materials science. History tells us our ancestors used stone tools, but the Book of Enoch tells a much darker and more advanced story of fallen beings and celestial engineering. We are exposing the suppressed blueprints of the Watchers that still govern our world today in ways we cannot see. Prepare to see the true hidden origins of high technology and the secrets buried beneath the waves of time and memory. We begin this journey in the present moment, in an era where information flows like water, yet truth remains elusive like oil. Analyzing the sudden global resurgence of Enochian studies in recent years as artificial intelligence linguistic models decode previously unreadable fragments, we see a pattern emerging that cannot be ignored, challenging the myth that the Watchers brought mere magic by redefining their gifts as precise blueprints for metallurgy and optics. We open the door to a new understanding of the past, setting the stage for how these ancient instructional manuals mirror the precise technical specifications found in modern aerospace engineering. We must ask ourselves why this connection was severed. Why was the link between the stone and the star cut so deeply that we forgot we were ever connected to the cosmos in such a tangible way? The metallurgy of the heavens and antediluvian alloys presents a mystery that conventional science struggles to explain without dismissing the evidence. Breaking down the specific chemical compositions described in the texts that allow for hyperconductive properties and friction-less surfaces, we see a material science that surpasses our current capabilities. Investigating the star iron mentioned in lost scrolls and its resemblance to modern metallic glass and high-entropy alloys used in current deep space probes, we find a continuity of knowledge that spans millennia, connecting the Watcher's weapon, making techniques to a sophisticated understanding of atomic lattice structures that far exceeds primitive blacksmithing. We realize that the sword was not just a tool of war, but a tool of precision engineering. They knew how to align the atoms not just by heat and hammer, but by resonance and frequency. They understood that matter is simply energy slowed down to a pace where it can be touched and shaped. Imagine a forge where there is no smoke and no fire as we know it. Imagine a place where metal is sung into shape by voices trained in the harmonics of the earth. The texts speak of sounds that soften stone and lights that harden water. These are not poetic metaphors. They are descriptions of acoustic levitation and sonic manipulation of matter. Today we use ultrasound to clean jewelry and break kidney stones. They used it to build cities. They used it to lift blocks that weigh hundreds of tons with the ease of lifting a feather. The energy required to do this is not found in burning coal or splitting atoms. It is found in the space between the atoms. It is found in the zero-point field that modern physics is trying to tap into with billions of dollars in funding. But the ancients did not need billions of dollars. They needed knowledge. They needed the key to the lock. And the Book of Enoch suggests that key was given to them by those who came from the sky. Why was this knowledge taken away? Why was the forge silenced and the songs forgotten? The texts speak of corruption. They speak of power used without wisdom. When you give a child a weapon, they do not understand the consequences of pulling the trigger. When you give a civilization technology, they do not understand the consequences of altering the grid of reality. The result is chaos. The flood is described as a cleansing, a reset, a way to wipe the slate clean before the damage became irreversible. But not all knowledge was lost. Some was hidden, some was buried in the symbols of secret societies and the geometry of sacred temples. Some was encoded in the very stories we call myths today. We are now reaching a point where we are ready to hear the songs again. We are reaching a point where our technology is catching up to our spirituality. We are building machines that can listen to the whispers of the universe. Celestial mechanics and the geometry of time offer another layer of this forbidden understanding, decoding the astronomical measurements found in the Book of the Courses of the heavenly luminaries as sophisticated orbital calculations. We see a map of the solar system that rivals our own, cross-referencing Enochian calendars with current theoretical physics models regarding the curvature of space-time and non-linear time perception. We find that they knew time was not a straight line. They knew it was a spiral. They knew it was a cycle. Exploring how these ancient descriptions of chariots align with current breakthroughs in electromagnetic propulsion and gravitational wave manipulation, we see that the chariot was not a vehicle of flesh and wood. It was a vehicle of light and field. It moved not by pushing against the air, but by sliding along the curves of space itself. To navigate the heavens, you must understand the movements of the heavens. The texts describe gates in the east and gates in the west. They describe the sun entering and exiting these gates at different times of the year. This is not just poetry. This is a description of the solstices and equinoxes encoded in a way that preserves the knowledge for those who know how to read it. They track the precession of the equinoxes with a precision that suggests instruments far beyond the naked eye. They understood the wobble of the earth. They understood the movement of the solar system through the galaxy. They knew that we are not stationary. We are traveling through the cosmos at incredible speeds. And they knew that there are moments in this journey when we pass through regions of higher energy, moments when the veil between worlds is thin, moments when technology works better and consciousness expands. We are entering such a moment now. The cycles are aligning, the gates are opening, and the knowledge is returning. The genetic blueprint and the architecture of reality delve into the most intimate aspect of our existence, interpreting the mingling of entities not as a biological myth, but as an early manual for CRISPR-level genetic sequencing and biological enhancement. We must look at the human body differently. Examining the hidden frequency patterns in the text that suggest a foundational knowledge of string theory and the vibrational nature of matter, we see that we are made of sound and light. Identifying the suppressed lineage of this knowledge through secret societies that have historically steered the development of modern industrial revolutions, we see a hand guiding the process. They did not want us to know where we came from. They did not want us to know what we are capable of, because a people who know their own power cannot be easily controlled. A people who know they are connected to the stars cannot be easily divided by borders. The human DNA is often called junk DNA by scientists who do not understand its function. But what if it is not junk? What if it is a lock? What if it is a dormant code waiting for the right key to activate it? The text suggests that we were designed to be more than we are. We were designed to live longer, to think clearer, to perceive more. But something happened, a truncation, a limitation. Whether it was intentional or a consequence of the reset is debated, but the potential remains. We see it in the outliers, the people who heal themselves against all odds, the people who see things others cannot, the people who know things they were never taught. They are the echoes of the original design. They are the proof that the blueprint is still there waiting to be read. Understanding this allows us to look at health and wellness not as a battle against disease, but as a return to harmony. It allows us to look at the mind not as a generator of thought, but as a receiver of information. It allows us to look at the world not as a collection of separate objects, but as a unified field of energy. This is the architecture of reality. It is built on vibration. It is built on intention. And if you understand the blueprint, you can participate in the construction. You are not just a tenant in the universe. You are a co-creator. But this power comes with responsibility. The Watchers fell because they used their knowledge to dominate. We must not make the same mistake. We must use our knowledge to elevate. The modern suppression and the disclosure of this era reveal why mainstream academia continues to categorize these technical manuals as mere folklore, despite mounting archaeological evidence. Discussing the recent silent updates to global patent offices that suspiciously mirror the forbidden mechanics found in the antediluvian texts, we see that the technology is here. It is being used, but it is not being shared. Concluding with a call to action on how understanding this lost technology allows us to reclaim our sovereignty in an age of increasing technological control. We must wake up. We must realize that the scarcity we feel is artificial. The energy crisis is artificial. The limitation of human potential is artificial. It is a cage built of ideas and enforced by systems that benefit from our ignorance. Why does the university teach that we evolved from mud and chance when the stones say we were crafted with intent? Why does the museum hide the artifacts that do not fit the timeline? Why does the news ignore the lights in the sky that move without wings? It is because the truth is too disruptive. It changes everything. It changes who we are. It changes who we owe. It changes where we are going. If we are not alone, then we are not the masters of this planet. If we are not the first, then we are not the pinnacle. If we are not the only ones, then we are part of a larger community. And that community has rules. It has laws. It has consequences. The suppression is not just about hiding machines. It is about hiding identity. If you know you are a star traveler in a human suit, you will not fear death. You will not fear authority. You will not fear scarcity. You will know that you are eternal, and that is dangerous to any system built on fear. So they keep you afraid. They keep you focused on the next bill, the next crisis, the next enemy. They keep you looking down at the ground when you should be looking up at the sky. They keep you looking at the screen when you should be looking inside your heart. But a tide is turning. The information is leaking. The walls are crumbling. The silence is breaking. We are standing on the threshold of a new age, an age where the old secrets become the new science, an age where the magic of the past becomes the technology of the future. But we must be ready. We must be worthy. We must prove that we can handle the fire without burning the house down. We must prove that we can wield the sword without cutting ourselves. We must prove that we can fly without falling. This is the test. This is the initiation. And it is happening now, not in a temple, not in a church, but in the minds and hearts of people like you who are willing to ask the hard questions, who are willing to look behind the curtain, who are willing to believe that there is more to this story than what we were told. The Book of Enoch is not just a book. It is a mirror. It shows us who we were. It shows us who we could be. It shows us the danger of forgetting. And it shows us the power of remembering. The Watchers are not just characters in a story. They are aspects of ourselves. The fallen angel is the part of us that chooses power over love. The righteous scribe is the part of us that chooses truth over comfort. We are all writing our own Book of Enoch every day with our choices. Every time we share knowledge, we are like the Watchers teaching. Every time we hide truth, we are like the powers that suppress. Every time we build something beautiful, we are like the constructors of old. Every time we destroy something sacred, we are like the destroyers of the flood. The technology is secondary. The consciousness is primary. You can have the most advanced machine in the universe, but if your heart is dark, it will become a weapon. You can have the simplest tool, but if your heart is light, it will become an instrument of healing. This is the lesson of the antediluvian world. They had the technology, but they lost the way. They could move mountains, but they could not move themselves toward peace. They could extend life, but they could not find meaning. And so they fell. We must not fall. We must rise. We must integrate the knowledge with the wisdom. We must blend the science with the spirit. We must become the bridge between the earth and the sky. The disclosure is not coming from the government. It is coming from within. It is coming from the people who are waking up. It is coming from the researchers who are connecting the dots. It is coming from the artists who are visualizing the new world. It is coming from the healers who are remembering the old ways. It is a grassroots revelation. It is a bottom-up awakening, and it cannot be stopped. You can ban a book, but you cannot ban an idea whose time has come. You can silence a voice, but you cannot silence the resonance it leaves in the heart. You can hide the truth, but you cannot hide the feeling that something is wrong. That feeling is the compass. It is pointing you here. It is pointing you now. So what will you do with this knowledge? Will you bury it again? Will you dismiss it as fantasy? Or will you hold it like a seed and plant it in the soil of your life? Will you let it grow into a tree that shelters others? Will you let it bear fruit that feeds the hungry? Will you let it become a shelter for the lost? The choice is yours. The power is yours. The time is yours. The past is not gone. It is waiting. The future is not fixed. It is waiting. And the present is the point where they meet. This moment, this breath, this thought, this is where the change happens. Not in the stars, not in the books, but in you. The forbidden truth is not forbidden because it is dangerous to know. It is forbidden because it is dangerous to forget. It is dangerous to live a lie. It is dangerous to sleep when you are meant to fly. It is dangerous to beg for crumbs when you are meant to bake the bread. The locks are opening. The keys are in your hand. You just have to turn them. You just have to walk through the door. You just have to remember who you are. The sons of the stars, the daughters of the light, the inheritors of the earth, the guardians of the mystery. This is your heritage. This is your birthright. Claim it, own it, live it. The narrative of limitation is ending. The story of scarcity is fading. The tale of isolation is dissolving. We are connected. We are supported. We are guided, not by distant gods, but by our own higher selves, not by external saviors, but by internal power. The Federation of Light is not out there. It is in here. The ships are not just in the sky. They are in the cells. The energy is not just in the wires. It is in the blood. Everything is within. Everything is now. Everything is one. And when we realize this, the game is over. The illusion is broken. The dream is ended. And we wake up. So let us walk forward into this new dawn with eyes open and hearts clear. Let us not fear the shadows, for they are just the absence of light. Let us not fear the questions, for they are the path to answers. Let us not fear the change, for it is the only constant. The history of the world is being rewritten, not by kings and queens, but by you, by us, by the ones who dare to remember. The Book of Enoch is open. The pages are turning. The words are speaking. And the message is simple. You are ready. You are worthy. You are loved. And you are never alone. The watchers are watching. But this time they are not here to teach us how to make swords. They are here to watch us learn how to make peace. They are here to watch us learn how to make love. They are here to watch us learn how to make life. And that is the greatest technology of all. The silence is broken. The secret is out. The truth is free. And it belongs to you. Take it, use it, share it. Let it light the way for those who are still in the dark. Let it warm those who are still cold. Let it guide those who are still lost. For we are all travelers on this same road. We are all seekers of the same light. We are all children of the same source. And together we are building a new world. A world where the past and the future meet in harmony. A world where the stone and the star sing the same song. A world where the human and the divine are one. This is the promise. This is the hope. This is the truth. And it is yours.